Friends 2.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another rockin' edition of Bleach Bangs, and myself, Charlie motherfucking Owens. Throw it over to John.
John Hennis right here.
Sergeant Sleeves.
And Randy Norris. What's going on, you cool cats?
Oh, nothing, man. We're fixing to do a little rock and roll radio show, man. Fucking talk to a couple amazing bands, Locust Grove out there in Oklahoma City, and our good friend Dellacoma, Australia, obviously. So,
What time is it over there? I didn't even think about that.
And it's like Thursday. It's like Thursday.
Yeah.
It's like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I have no idea. I used to I got really good at figuring that shit out when we did the first run. Like, where are you at, man? Oh, you're in London? Yeah, okay, well, this is the time difference, and fucking you called at this time. I don't remember that shit anymore.
Yeah. I used to have ragdoll, you got Perth and you've got Melbourne, and they're like total opposites, and they're like, yeah, totally different time zones and shit. And I'm like, if I was gonna ask Leon something, what time would I ask you?
Apparently it's 10 o'clock at Dell's time right now.
Okay, so it's not too early then. That's good.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
We had our Australian listener let us know what time it is.
Oh.
Would that be Kara?
It would be.
Kara, what's up,
thanks for tuning in again.
Absolutely.
Love to have you here.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been great.
Yes, thank you for the love. So what's going on in the music biz, man? What's going on in the world, man?
Hey, I have something about that. The Choir Boys, they booted their last original member.
Right.
Well, him and one of the other founding members have decided to get back together, and they have sent a letter of cease and desist to the guys running the name Choir Boys right now on tour.
Here we go round and round.
Damn.
That's what's happening that I know.
Whoa.
I just read that yesterday. I was like, I need to remember that for tomorrow.
I feel like I've seen this a couple of times before, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it always turns out great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember that whole LA Guns thing. That was fucking, that was easy peasy, man.
Wow. They've still got a ton of shows too that are already booked, don't they?
They're the Midnight Devils are on tour with them right now.
Yeah, they just started that tour, man.
So I'll be anxious to see how that plays out in the long run.
That will be interesting for sure.
So in the midst of us losing, we still don't have Cox Internet, which is what we were using. We still do not have that. We decided to go with AT&T, and so we got our internet up yesterday. And was it yesterday? Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, it was yesterday. But we have DirecTV. AT&T Direct Stream is what it's called, which has reels on it. Which has the Jack Russell guest list.
I see where you're going. Okay, yeah.
Might have watched it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very good. It is very good.
Two thumbs up.
Yes, absolutely. I think you guys would really, really enjoy it. And Jack is just amazing, being as vulnerable and putting himself out there as what he does with this. And it's just, it's heart-wrenching. It really is.
I'm gonna come over to watch it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
how about
crazy.
this? Me and John will be there this weekend.
Okay. All right. Well, I work late. I go in.
We don't need you. We just need your TV.
I'm coming over to watch the Jack Russell doc, man. What channel, man?
How funny. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'll find it, man. I'll get it. I'll get it. Yeah.
Lots of familiar faces. D. Snyder's in there.
Who?
D. Snyder.
Oh,
The Twisted
the-
Mama or Twisted. I don't.
we're not gonna do something again or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, come on. We're being stupid now. John's like, I'm not participating in this. Fuck you
John.
guys. I'm not doing it.
As his dog with a kiss sweatshirt jumps up.
We've locked him on the other side of the house, so he might not get in my lap tonight.
Oh, cool. Man. There was something, and dude, this is why I need a notebook. And dude, you are teaching me a lesson. I should just have a note. I really should, because like there was something, and I don't remember what it was. Yep.
It's a good looking notebook right there. Yeah, that is just old school.
It really is, man. It really is. I'm still on the and I do need to talk to Sam about it too. I'm still on the working on the getting a strain named after the Midnight Devils.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Might happen actually.
That's really cool.
Well, I was asking around. I was like, how do we get like naming rights? Do you like have to like be there like when like the birth happens? And they were just like, no. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I got a really good idea for one. It's called the Midnight Devil. And, well, I took the S off because, you know, it's, you know, not a group, it's one, but yeah, the Midnight Devil. And they were just kind of like, huh. I was like, oh, well, maybe that'll happen now. I don't know.
Bro, it should just be the Midnight Devil's lettuce.
I mean, that's if I absolutely could do it on my own, that's 100% what it would be, dude. That's 100% what it would be. And yes, you have to say the whole thing. You don't no fucking abbreviations whatsoever. So
you know, it's not gonna be any MDL.
No. Oh man, we had one. I put somebody off too. Never mind. I'm not gonna talk about my fucking job. Never mind.
But you guys have other jobs? This isn't it?
Wait.
Oh.
Are we getting paid for this?
Yeah, right.
What? What? You mean I don't have to have my phone in the cabinet anymore?
Never mind. Stay in the cabinet, bro.
All right. It's all good. So, anything else going on that we should chat about? How about
Fireboys thing is really still taking me back. I'm still just like, damn.
What is?
The choir boy thing.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a trip, man.
Wow.
Well, while we're waiting on our guests, why don't we play a little snippet of one of their tunes? Which one we got loaded up?
It's their new release. Battle of the Locust.
Yes, Battle of the Locust. Yeah, why don't we hear a little bit of that?
You'd have had it.
What's that?
If you'd have had a notebook, you'd have had it right beside you.
I know, right?
I think we may have had a little glitch there. I don't know if that went out. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I wasn't hearing anything, and Randy's got himself muted again. So
yeah, Randy's muted again, so I can't hear you, bro.
Unmute yourself, Randy.
Can't hear you, bro.
Christy said it went across the live feed.
Okay, good, man. Good. Good. Yeah, so I mean, it's a kick-ass song, you know. As I was gonna jump on it real quick, but then I wasn't sure if everybody heard it. But yeah, very cool. So, Battle of the Locust, man. Locust Grove. What you drinking, John?
Diet Pepsi.
Oh, okay. Is it got Jaeger in it?
Ew, no.
Dude, yeah.
You mean, ew, no.
You drink Jaeger pure, brother.
I don't drink Jaeger at all anymore, brother.
Yeah, I know what it did to you one time.
One time? Oh my God.
The one time I really remember.
The one time I wish we could forget, all of us. I wish everybody could forget that.
Nobody can forget the night of the spirit world, brother.
God, I mean, that was until I threw up. That whole night was a fucking amazing. It was so much goddamn fun, and all we were doing was just sitting in Randy's fucking garage, dude, drinking, smoking. Fucking, yeah, that was one of the fucking funnest nights of my life until later.
I think I crushed a cooler lid that night.
You did what?
I think I crushed a cooler lid that I was sitting on.
You did. But nobody, they didn't know because
I mean,
we were in the spirit world.
They couldn't see us.
In the spirit world.
I mean, they didn't see it, so you know, no harm, no foul. We're going back to the damn spirit world one of these days, man.
This weekend we're gonna be at Randy's. We'll just sit in his new garage.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Randy, can you leave a cooler out there for me?
Oh shit. Just, you know, sorry, Christy, we're coming though.
She just asked, we have a drainage ditch right next door to us. She was like, who's going to be the first one that's in there? It's like
Probably.
this big, it's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
It won't be me. I'd never get out of it.
Wait, intentionally or like just
No, just in general,
Like,
who's going to be the
who
first
ends up
one?
in,
I mean,
just who ends up in it? Yeah.
yeah, you could roll down the hill, anything could happen.
That is a definite possibility.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, she said she's going to be at Asking Alexandria and nothing more. So,
hey John, I'm gonna go with Christy. You watch that documentary and then you can tell me about it. But I'm gonna go with Christy.
Okay, I'll watch the documentary in the spirit world.
Yeah.
John.
And then I'll come back and join you in the spirit world if I can find you. So have we heard anything?
No, I just shot Zane a text, shot him a link.
Okay.
You know, I don't know, man.
Hey man, it's live radio. It's, you know, it happens, man. I know we talk about it every week, but it is pretty ridiculous that we have some sort of technical issue every Wednesday.
Yep.
For those who weren't with us, you know, obviously before we got on, Randy could not hear any of us, nor could we hear him before the start of the show. And it was, for about 20 minutes, we were just like, what the fuck? You know?
They could all hear each other. They were enjoying each other's company and laughing at me. I could see them laughing at me.
Yep.
He didn't know we were laughing at him until we told him.
Yeah, it's always something, man. But we're still here. We're still trying to bring you the best possible thing that we possibly can every week, man.
Right.
And we thank everybody that does listen to us, you know, and the ones that are listening live and the ones that catch us later, because I know I've heard, you know, from a few people that they don't get a chance to listen to us live or watch the show live, but they check it out later. And you know, whenever, man, that's fucking cool with me, man. Whenever. Ooh, I said the F word. I wasn't going to, but I did.
Oh,
Bro, you said it a lot already. Don't even
But I'm limiting myself. I have like a 15 count in my head.
I think you hit that in like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then I have to stop. I can't say anything
Oh,
anymore.
okay, gotcha.
You
I
know.
want to get one of those baseball counters.
Those don't go that high.
I know, right?
Well, I remember one of our viewers was they said they had $1 for every F word or every F bomb, and I was like, yes. That was
Yeah,
mostly
that was Kara. that
Yeah.
said that.
Hey.
that was mostly me with those F bombs. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to be better and not say it all the effing time.
I think since we haven't heard anything from them at this point, and Mr. Dellacoma Rio is watching with us.
Uh-huh.
If you're paying attention, I guess, Dell, if you just want to chime in now, come on in, brother.
Welcome.
Come and knock on our door.
I know that reference. We'll be waiting for you.
There's
Sad
three,
part is I
there's
don't
three
know
of
the
us,
song.
man. There's three
Somebody
of
needs to
us.
say where the kiss is.
Come on, John. Jump in there.
I don't know the song, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, shit.
Now, if we were doing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme song, I'm all over it.
Dude. That's what's up. We should do a
Give him a second.
music trivia one of these nights. See who can get all the theme songs.
That's a good idea.
I think
I
so.
like it. We can do a trivia game between you guys right now. I'm going to ask a question, and one of you answers whoever can answer it the fastest. What's my
Okay.
favorite band?
Kiss.
Kiss.
See how I did that?
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah,
Thanks for the setup, though.
yeah, that was great. and I dove right into it.
Everybody's like,
It's kind of like hitting the bottom of the shallow end. It's kind of like I dove in, just going, "This is gonna be great." Boom. Couldn't back out.
Good. That was a good one. Yeah.
like
Nice.
I wasn't even gonna do it tonight. Like, to be honest, I was just like not. I wasn't. I didn't tell you guys a bad dad joke before the show.
You may have. I just didn't hear it. I don't know.
Touche.
Yeah. I'll never tell. Oh,
You didn't miss it.
it's even if you weren't gonna implement it, John, it's still gonna fucking happen.
I'm
It's
just
gonna
saying.
happen
My
because,
my plan was to not even try it tonight.
bro.
And then you guys set it up, and we had time to kill. So I was like,
Oh yeah, no. Randy's like, here's a fucking softball for you. Here you go.
Yeah, I did too. I did.
I mean, if you're gonna set it on the tee, I'm gonna knock it out the park.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Those of
Um,
you that are watching and we're waiting to see Dell, I think he's actually gonna come
He's
in a
here.
little early.
He's here.
A little early as in now.
Oh shit.
Give him just a second while he's connecting to audio.
Well,
There
hello
it
there.
Today.
There it is.
G'day,
Hello,
mate.
fellas.
So good to see you. You're drinking coffee. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
Well, yes, it is. It is. I went through a phase several years ago where I realized I was drinking a lot of coffee, and so as we start to get older, certain things that we do start to catch up with ourselves, and I decided to preempt that by saying, you know what? I'm going to find a way to get up and about and not have coffee. So I made a rule that I had to get up and I had to be up for at least 2 hours before I had my coffee.
Oh, cool.
Now, I haven't always stuck with that, but that's helped me to then just not, because I was kind of on that train where I'd roll out of bed, smash a coffee, and then before that hit my stomach, I'd smash another cup of coffee. And then, before you know it, you're a couple pots deep.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's kind of just become a habit for me now that I kind of get up and get about my day. And then if I want a coffee, I'll have a coffee. And I often still have coffee, but just some days I go a whole day and I don't even have a coffee and I don't realize it because I get into my day and I get busy, and then, yeah.
Right on.
Hey man, Dude,
I
it's,
told the, I told the
Random
story on
useless
here.
trivia for you about my life.
We love it.
I told the story in here once before already about me getting home from work early and you guys just waking up and you're pouring a cup of coffee and you looked at me and said, "You want to have some Jaeger?" And I said, "Sure." And you chased your Jaeger with coffee, and I thought it was the grossest thing I ever saw.
And that is still the only time in my life, and I've drunk many things in my life, but that is the only time in my life that I've had Jaeger in one hand and coffee in the other.
wow.
Welcome to America.
It would be at John's house. It would be at John's house too, though.
Yeah, welcome to John's house.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
good
didn't
to see you
initiate
guys.
that one. That was him. That was not my fault.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a long time, Randy.
It has. It really has. Man.
I mean, it's been a long time for all of you, but it's 4 years since I've seen John and Charlie. It's probably been longer for you, Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly.
I
It's
know
been,
that.
You look younger. What the
It's
crap
been
is
just
going
over.
on? It's crazy.
It's been like 4 years and 2 weeks because the last time I saw you, I did that proposal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that the
Wow.
last time? Was that the last time, John?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
I was
Wow.
so you can blame John and myself for the whole world shutting down because John, I was about ready to head for John's place, and I was going to have, he talked me into driving 9 hours out of my way to spend St. Patrick's Day with John
Yeah.
in 2020.
I really did talk you into that.
Yeah.
He did, and woke up on St. Patrick's Day, and United States of America was like, you know what? I don't know if we can handle Dellacoma Rio and John Hennis on St. Patrick's Day at the booby trap. So we're just going to shut the whole country down.
Yeah.
That's literally
Damn.
what happened. That's literally what happened. Like my last show in the US was the Sunday before St. Patrick's Day, whatever date that was, in March 2020. And I got off stage at Fairport Brewing Company. I've been doing the Dellacoma's Cosmic Experience, right? And we're meant to have the Monday off, and then Tuesday was meant to be in Kansas. And which again was just something that we decided kind of on the fly. John had actually talked me into that. And I got off stage, and the bar owner goes, "You could be the last person to play New York for a while." And I was like, "Why is that?" And he said, "Well, you got on stage, and the governor said that all bars needed to close within the next hour because the state was shutting down. And my set was an hour and a half, right? And so he just kind of let us play till we got done, right? And I kind of was like, at the time, I was like, well, you know, New York and LA and Chicago, they do what they do. I've been around long enough to know that. But I'm like, I'm headed to the middle of the country. I'm going to do Kansas and Wisconsin. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
No, apparently no St. Patrick's Day for Dellacoma and John. No booby trap.
There'll be another one.
Yeah, I think there'll be another one, and I think we might add a couple of people to that one too.
Yeah, that would be fun. Well,
Yeah,
you'll hear it here first. Finally, with restrictions easing and everything, we are my label and I are in talks at the moment to tentatively look at a tour next year, which would be first time in 5 years.
Oh, yes.
yeah,
First time in 5 years that I've toured my own music.
That's awesome.
man.
So,
You
fingers
know-
crossed, if everything continues staying open. The main concern, because Australia only just opened, like fully opened, we had to get we had to apply to the government to get an exemption to even leave the country for the last 2 years, right?
Wow.
So that's opened now, but and there's no restrictions on leaving or entering.
Mhm.
But because I have kids here, you know, I'm just waiting to make sure it actually plays out like they say it's going to play out. Because even though I've got plenty of friends and family in the United States, the last thing I really want is to be stuck.
Right.
So
No,
sad.
totally agree. Totally
It's-
agree. Yeah.
So we're just going to kind of play that by ear at the moment, but hopefully if it stays the way it is, you know, for the next sort of 2 or 3 months, we should be able to actually lock some stuff in.
That's
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah,
That is awesome news.
Yeah, that's great news, man. Because I know you're dying to get back out there, man, and represent, you know, Dellacoma, man. Absolutely, dude.
Man, it has been like, I mean, it's been hard for everyone, obviously, you know. But yeah, just, you know, you have those, especially because I went full time into music in 2018. So it's like you get on socials and almost every day you've got a reminder of, on this day you were, you know, I was doing the Excess show in like Tahiti, or I was, you know, at Rocklahoma, or I was, you know, in Finland, or you know, whatever, you know, oh, I'm excited to get ready for this thing or that thing. And the last 2 years, I mean, I was a little bit worried about just getting back on stage in a way, because I had 2 weeks ago, we had 3 shows in 48 hours with the In Excess show, just the way it felt, right? So Anzac Day over here is kind of like our Veterans Day of sorts.
Okay.
It's the 25th of April, and it landed on a Monday this year. So a venue, so it's a public holiday. So the venue had us on for the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but the Monday being a big party day, and because they do a dawn service, like they wanted 2 bands on, and they wanted us to be the first band. So we ended up going on at noon and finishing at 2:30, which just happened to be because they do afternoon shows at this place. So we normally play 2 to 5:30. And so we got off stage 48 hours before we got on stage for the first show, and we'd done 3 shows. And that was, for perspective, 3 shows in 48 hours. That was as many shows as I had done in the last 11 months.
Wow. Wow. God.
I can't talk.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and they're like, there was even 3 days after that, I was on the phone to my girlfriend, and she goes, "Oh, you sound a bit hoarse." And I was like, "Yeah, I am still pretty hoarse." I was like, "I'm just proud of myself that I made it through."
Hell yeah.
7 hours of stage time in 48. I'm like, that's some vintage shit right there. I mean, that's what I used to do when I was a young buck, you know? Back when I was flogging that blue beast back and forth across the US.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So hey, I gotta ask you, this is from when we spent some time on the road together. How is your Achilles? How did it heal up? Are you good? Is it all good?
Man, that is an absolute I'll call it a miracle, because it is Western medicine will tell you that an Achilles cannot heal without surgery.
Yeah.
It's impossible for a tendon. And I got back, not to go into details or anything, you know, but that was, things happen in threes. And that was within the space of 3 months. I went through a divorce, lost my place to live. I tore my Achilles, and I lost my band, right? So I was in a position where, coming back from that tour, I was on crutches. I was crashing on a mate's floor. And I didn't have any money, because that tour, I lost tens of thousands of dollars on that tour, right?
Sorry to bring this up, brother. I'm sorry.
No. It's a story of victory, actually.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to quote Elton John, "I'm still standing." But actually, to be honest, that just sidebar, part of where the name of the new album Blood came about, because it's like complete sidebar, you know, the whole idea of blood, sweat, and tears, you know, it's been done, you know, but it was one of those things where it was like, man, if this finally comes out, it has cost me so much, not just like financially, you know, but this was the 3rd lineup that started this record.
Yeah.
Like the lineup that did South of Everything, we started this record in 2015.
Yeah.
You know, and then we were meant to finish it in 2017 when we split, and then we started it again with the lineup that did Vampires Until We All Belong, you know, and then started again, but getting back to the Achilles. So I was in that position where I literally had nothing. I almost went bankrupt. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to have to think laterally on this. And so I completely changed my diet, got into a lot of meditation, and I've always believed in God, but it became a lot more real, I think, for me, and really focusing on a lot of, I thought I'd just try, just focusing on the body's healing powers. And I know it sounds super hairy fairy, man, but I gave up meat. I got most of the sugar out of my diet at the time, and also dairy. And I started doing intermittent fasting, and I'm proud to say that now, without surgery, which on the record has never happened in Western medicine.
That's insane.
There's stories of it happening in the Eastern countries, but I did, and there was a fan who was a nurse in Denver, and she'd kind of been following along the way, and it was, I mean, you saw it, it was pretty.
It was so gnarly. And one of the main reasons I bring it up, I'll just be real quick, is I saw how bad it was. I mean, it was ruptured Achilles, but I saw a man who just kept getting knocked around, and the way you pulled the rest of that leg off, man, like, I mean, I don't know what the words are. I was proud of you. I looked up to you. Like, that was an inspiration to me. Like, I was like, holy shit, man. He's still going forward. And that's one thing that I love about you, Del.
I stumbled a bit, but I was still going forward.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I in the middle of that very real speech there, my computer said, your computer will sleep soon if it's not plugged in. And I was like, oh no. I realized it's plugged in, but I hadn't turned the switch on. So
But anyway, back to what you were saying. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. And you had real world experience with that. I still remember, like, for viewers out there, or for Randy and John, Charlie actually captured the moment I ruptured my Achilles, because the tour had started so bad. There was so many issues, bass player had lost his passport in LA partying the last time we were out. He got a temporary one, but didn't realize that a temporary one gets you home, but won't let you back out. Nope. So he rocked up to the airport to fly over, and they go, no, you can't fly out on this. So he had to wait and get an emergent, a rush passport, which still takes 4 or 5 days. So we had to do the first few shows. We had to
oh my God.
The guitarist was doing an octave pedal and trying to play the bass lines and guitar. And then when he do a solo, then the drummer had a keyboard and he was trying to play the bass notes. And it was just a shit show, man.
It was yeah.
And we had to do 3 shows like that. And I've always found the ocean to be a place where I kind of find my zen. I've always said that it gives me what I need.
Yeah.
Right. And we went to the ocean, and I believe you had never been to the ocean. Is that right?
I'd been to California, but I'd never been to the Florida Ocean. And it's warmer water. It's totally different.
Yeah. So we're there, and Charlie's all excited, and he's got his phone up like this, and he's looking. He goes, guys, I'm here at the beach, right? And in the background, you see me just take off my shirt and go running towards the ocean as Charlie's going around. And he does this. And by the time he gets back to here, you see me limping out of the ocean.
Yep.
And that was the moment people go, oh, well, it was only a matter of time that you were going to tear your Achilles. I've seen you hanging off stuff and running around. I literally stepped on a rock.
Yeah.
I went running in, stepped on a rock. It moved. Bam, gone.
Oh. Yeah.
And but full circle, I actually have more range of motion in my new Achilles.
That's-
I don't
that's
know. From an, I mean, I can do everything that I could do before, except the only thing that I can't do, which is probably just a matter of building it up, is if I stand on, I can stand on one foot on either foot, like the old Achilles or the new Achilles. On the old Achilles, I can lift my whole body weight up onto my toes. Whereas on my new Achilles, I can't do that. That's
Oh.
literally the only thing I can't do. I can push off with the 1 foot. I can run, I can jump,
Huh.
I can everything else. That's the only thing that I can't do.
Wow, man. You know, and like when it happened, yeah, and I remember that, you know, because like I was watching you limping out of the ocean in my phone, and I'm like, so then, you know, like I cut the video and I'm like, oh shit, man. You know, and I thought, oh, it's just, you know, we all hoped it was just a sprained ankle, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And you had a show that night. And
I fell off stage because,
yeah,
like, for those that don't know, and anatomically speaking, the Achilles attaches the foot to the calf. So if the Achilles isn't there, if you put any pressure on the front of the foot, it can't hold that. So I leaned onto, I had a show that night as a 3-piece with no bass player. And I was like, I'm just going to do the Jim Morrison thing. I'm going to kind of hang on to the microphone and just kind of lean to my left side. Well, I got into one of the songs and I leaned right, and I literally face planted off stage.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah. You know,
and
I was like torn because I was trying to like take care of you, but I was also trying to, you know, obviously just let you be the rock star that you are. But there, I was like, you know, I tell Dell, like, I was like being like an older brother. I was like, you can't run around and do what you normally do, dude. You gotta tone it down a little bit. I know you still got, because we've all seen Dell, man, when he's into the fucking music, he's just all over the place, man. And I'm just like, buddy, you can't do everything that you could before. But some nights you did. And I would just be watching you like he's gonna be in so much fucking pain later, man.
Well, I was the only way I made it. I mean, like from a physical standpoint, like emotionally, I don't think I would have been able to make it there without you, Charlie.
Appreciate that, man.
Robin on the back half, because Robin Overliner, I don't know if you ever met her, but she came in for the back half of that tour.
Yeah.
And without support, I don't think I could have made that tour. It was stupid. It was my own pride that I wanted to keep going. I just didn't want to give up. But there's actually a pretty cool video from Denver.
Yeah.
Where we're doing vampires.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody saying at the time, they said, "Oh, you're getting so into it, you're crying." And I was like, "Well, I am crying, but it's not from the song; it's from the pain."
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you're on stage, it's just that pure adrenaline that keeps you going.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I see what you did there.
Speaking of adrenaline,
I see what you did there.
What's going on?
We can play. What do you say, Ashton?
Do it up.
So that is Adrenaline by Dellacoma off his new album, Blood. Del, we used to actually hear the music while we were doing the chats. And this week, for some reason,
It's Bleach Banks.
so
Why not?
But it goes out on the stream and they can hear it there. Charlie's muted, so he's not gonna be able to talk for a while.
I'm trying to say shit, and then I'm like, How come they're not listening to me?
So
Yeah,
one of the other things I wanted you to touch base on, Del, is your poetry. Like
yes.
while we have you on here.
Yeah, man.
Well, hey, they're
Hey.
saying.
Hey, look,
Oh,
Del,
I'm
Zane's
so-
joined us.
I'm so sorry. I'm like an hour late, like normal.
You remember Dell, don't you?
Yeah,
Sunset, right?
yeah, dude. I'm a van, dude.
How are you, dude? You were
Fucking-
anti-mortem back in the day, weren't you?
Yeah, man. Yep.
Are you driving?
Badass.
I think he's losing his internet connection.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I am on my cell data. Cell data. I don't have Wi-Fi or none of that cool shit. I don't even have that. Yo, dude, I'm still living in the ancient days. What have y'all been up to, man? I've fucking worked my ass off today. It was hot, dude.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. It went from 40 to 50 to tornadoes, then it went to 90.
Yeah, no spring, summer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's like, try doing that in hair.
I tie my hair back. You know, I got a beanie on, tie my hair back as it blows, and I don't like baseball caps or like trucker hats. I don't know. I don't do hats. So I have the beanie, man, and people will be like, how the fuck do you do that? You know, out there. But anyway, what's good with y'all, man?
Oh, well, we just hanging out with Dale. It's 10 o'clock in the morning in Australia.
Is indeed.
That's crazy, dude. I want to go over there so bad. Like, I'm friends with the Ragdoll dudes. I'm pretty good friends with Leon, and yeah, dude. I
Well,
want to.
they're in Western Australia. That's not even really part of our country anymore.
That don't fucking count.
Nah, they're awesome. Perth is awesome, really, too. It's a long way away. It's kind of like Alaska to like you guys.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, not weather-wise, just the fact that it's so far removed.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though it's connected landmass-wise, there's what's called the Nullarbor, which is just a big desert that nobody lives in. And people always go, "Oh, no one can live there." And I'm like, "Man, have you ever seen Nevada or New Mexico?"
Right.
And live in the deserts. It's just that we decide not to over here.
We had actually just talked about that. We were trying to the time zones and stuff and be like, yeah, if I was gonna text Leon, what time would it be? You know, you doing that, and it's so much different. Perth and Melbourne are still totally different time zones.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, we've got the same landmass area as the continental US over here, and people kind of forget that.
Wow.
Because we've only got 6 states, and we've got, you know, about the same population as New York City
Oh,
in the whole country.
So Zane, tell us about what you've got going on, man. You got a CD release coming up. You
Yeah,
got a
man.
cool little show with at the Diamond Ballroom.
No, it's actually a Whiskey Nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we're doing our CD release, man. Finally, you know, we put out that EP, the Monster EP. We put it out in 2016, and like, it's just taken a little while, not really to write it. I've had all these songs for a while, you know, but just not only getting the recordings mixed right, mastered right, and then like the advertising to push this record, like without a label, doing it on your own, you know, kind of takes some. So it's taken a long ass time, but we're finally here, and yeah, dude, June 3rd. So
June 3rd. Whiskey
Awesome,
Nights
yep.
in Oklahoma City.
Awesome,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, and the whole album, I think there's 12 songs on it. And, you know, to the people that know me from the Anti-Mortem days, you know, New Southern was one of those albums from like track 1 to the end is killer. And
Right.
I think, you know, not just saying it because I had a lot to do with this album, but like, I really do think I put like a lot of time into this album, and like with the other guys too. And just, you know, we picked through songs over the years. You know, what made New Southern so good was that we had 30, 40 songs as kids growing up writing together. And then the label and our management, just people and us and everybody, we picked through them and put out the best 10, you know, or the best 11 or 12 or whatever. So same thing kind of this, you know, I've been writing songs since, you know, even after the Monster EP, I never stopped writing. So like, you know, it's kind of, I guess, the best 12 songs that we've written in the last 5 years. So, you know, and I don't know, I'm just really excited to get it out there for everybody, man. It's a lot of work and passion behind it, you know. So it's cool to get to see the hard work pay off.
Right on. Speaking of paying off, you're going to be on the Charger tour. So you're going to tour the whole East Coast starting next month, correct?
Yeah, man, I'm stoked about that. Which for those that don't know, Charger's Matt Freeman from Rancid. It's his new band. And so there's some pretty good hype behind it, you know, and we're excited to go out with them for sure. And like you were saying, East Coast, man, like we've only went to the East Coast one time, and you don't see a lot of tours. I mean, that we have got offered at this point that go there. Like we're all over the West Coast or like Midwest, but like we don't really ever go to the New York area or like Boston and stuff. And the cool part about that is, you know, it's just city to cities, like within 100-mile radius or something. Like it's really cool because the West Coast is like 500 miles in between cities and shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can take just as long to go those 100 miles on the East Coast, though.
Yeah, that's true. Well, see, they get you on the tolls, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And all the definitely still traffic. Yeah, it's horrible.
So the reviews have been outstanding so far. I was looking at some of them on your guys' social media. The outstanding reviews already out on this album, and it's pretty cool that Joey's going out and doing some interviews too. So kudos for Joey, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I told him, I said, bro, because I was like our publicist, and I don't know if you know our publicist, but I should hook you guys up with him because he works with like Blacktop Mojo and he works with some bigger names, and his name's Tom George. But anyways, he's been sending us all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, like I can't like do all this. Like I'm gonna miss one of these. Like tonight, almost missed it. Like there's so many. Like. So, but anyways, I told Joey, I said, and he's really good. Like, as you know, Joey can talk to people. Like he's, you know, I'm like, I feel confident sending him out there because like people love to hear what he has to say, and he's a cool kid, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Good stuff. Yeah, lots of good stuff coming for you, man. This is exciting. I mean, you guys are hitting it hard. I mean, hitting it real hard.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, we were like, man, we have to have, like, everybody knows when you release an album, like, you have to have some, I mean, touring with it's kind of essential, you know what I mean? Like, to help sell the album, like, it's not going to sell it, so you stay here at the house, you know what I mean? So, you got to tell people about your band every day, man. Keep driving it into their heads. I don't know, speaking of that, I don't know if y'all heard it, but we got our stuff on the cab right now, like, just an ad running for our show.
Yeah, Christy told me about it. Yeah, she goes, I just heard an ad of, you know, the release. It's awesome. So yeah.
That's badass. That's badass, man. Hell yeah.
I've learned, man, I'm trying to do, it's all about visibility, man. And that's you know, what's hard, I guess, with the current, you know, with everything changing, you know, with like social media and like Instagram stories and just like social media from like in 2014 when Anti-Mortem got signed to where it is now is like insane. And it's like you almost literally lose, like I had to like take a day or a week or whatever and sit down and like learn and try to be in the times. And I'm still behind. Joey helps me out a lot because he's like, he literally lives on his phone 24/7 on his phone. So like he helps me out with a lot of that. But man, being visible, dude, is like, and it's weird now because like you got your Spotify people, you got your Apple Music people, you got like your tours and like your people that come to your live shows, you got like, and literally you have to really treat social media as like a thing that like a fan base that never comes to your shows, but they love you and they know who you are. They're not going to come to your shows, but they might buy them, you know, like it's crazy. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what we've been up to, is just trying to get this album out and play these, you know, like shows locally to make a decent chunk of money to go on that tour, and that kind of came last minute. So right now it's crunch time. I'm trying to get the ready to go, trying to get everybody, just everything ready. So it's kind of stressful.
Hey, so Zane, for those people that aren't going to come to your shows to buy stuff from you, where could they go online to find it to buy it?
So basically we have a link tree, and that link tree link literally takes you to everything like that you would ever want. Like it's got every page, like social media page. It's got our website, which has all of our stuff on it. You know what I mean? So really I'd say our website, which is just locustgroveband.com. So you can check that.
Yeah, man.
That'll be up in the conversation chat on the
Absolutely.
video here too for you.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, it sounds like you got a lot of awesome, stuff in the works, man, and fucking tour going on and album release. I mean, appreciate you carving out a little time for us today, man, brother, so we can talk about all that shit.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me, man. I just know that I was doing all these interviews and stuff, and I'm like, what's up with policemen? I see y'all stuff all the time, you're kicking it like always. I'm like, why are we not on there? Like, what's up? Like, are you still living out in New Mexico?
Me? Yeah, I'm still out here in New Mexico, yeah.
Right on. Well, when we come out that way, man, hope to see you. And John,
Absolutely.
you're about Topeka, right? Booby trap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Dude, I'll never forget. We played the booby trap. I have a video of us playing the booby trap, right, in front of like 2 people. And like I come out in the crowd and I'm doing my solo in front of this chick at the bar, and she did not like it. Like she just like, looked away and was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I'm like, "There's only 2 people in here. Let me play, in front of the, She did not like that. We laugh about that all the time because, like, James Bass was at that show. He was one of our only fans there besides John, and he got the video, dude. We laugh about it still to this day because she just has this disgusted look. You'd think she'd be pumped, like, "Oh yeah, he's coming up shredding." Like, no, she was like, "Why?"
No. Yeah, get away from me.
I'm just here for the shots. You can leave the music out.
Shit. Yeah. That's awesome.
Fun though, man. I always enjoy it. Can't say
Absolutely.
that right there.
So Dell, what do you have any dates coming up in the near future?
Well, we've only just opened our state borders, so
Right,
state borders, like it's hard for around the world to kind of comprehend, but like we had borders shut for a very long time. So because of that, it's only just we've only had the whole country open. So WA, where the Ragdoll Boys are from, they were the last state to open their borders, and that was probably only a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And the East Coast here was probably a month ago now. But just kind of, seeing where it's been 2 years of promoters going, okay, they'll book a show and then they promote the show and then the borders close. So then they lose all the promotion money, they lose the flights, they lose all that sort of stuff. So it's been 2 years of those sort of false starts. So there's a bit of, a lot of venues have backlog of shows that have been postponed, and promoters are a little bit shy. So I've kind of been waiting until there's a bit more confidence, but again, you heard it here first. Working on a bit of a launch show. So I actually, during end of 2020, I actually moved states. So I'm up in Queensland now, which is north. It's kind of, I guess, similar climate to, well, it's called the Sunshine State, but it's been raining for the last week. I'm putting together a lineup up here because I'd like to, I haven't played, I did a one-off show in 2019, but aside from that, 2018 was the last time I actually did my own music. So working on a bit of a launch show, hopefully somewhere in the next sort of 3 to 4 months.
Awesome, man.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird, I mean, definitely the last 2 years has put us all in such a, yeah, and I can't imagine, like we've talked to other guys, on the show, and I can't imagine what it's done to you guys, because getting out there in front of people, that's your job, man. That's what's up. And
yeah.
haven't been able to do that. So this weird holding pattern that you're in, I know it's frustrating for you, brother. I know it is. And, especially, as restrictive as Australia's been. Yeah, man,
Well,
I feel for you.
Jaron, who played bass on the record and is in Tantric and was in
Mhm.
Mark 22 and all that. I've been keeping in good contact with him, obviously. And, aside from maybe 2 months in 2020, they were able to keep touring because, all the states had different regulations. So when a couple states would close down, they'd just move over to the states that weren't closed down. So from his angle, when they've been able to kind of keep that ball rolling, and then when they come back to the states that have been shut, then there's a demand for it, whereas we haven't really had that over here. Queensland was the most open state, the one I'm living in now, but even up here, they had live music was like banned for quite a while, and then when it came back, some of the rules they had here in Australia, like they had live music come back, but only you had to be seated, and there had to be 6 feet between anybody in the audience, and there was no dancing, no singing,
So no
and,
fun.
yeah, exactly, no fun. So, and I remember saying it, like one of my mates started doing shows again, and he goes, "Dude, this is mental." And I was like, that's why I kind of checked out, like not in a bad way, but I was like, man, it would kill me more than it's killing me not to play, but it would kill me more to do a show where I look around and I see any member on stage that's not playing, not singing, has to be wearing a mask, and the audience is sitting down. There has to be 6 feet in between, and none of them are allowed to have any sort of response. I was like, I'd rather just not play than do that. Because I mean, you like, I'm normally, getting out in people's faces and telling them to get up. And I did I started doing a thing called Simon Gardner's Big Stadium Rock Show. Just in between everything, he's a guitarist that was back in the day, won a bunch of awards and everything, and he puts out instrumental music. But we kind of do theaters, and I got contacted. It's 2 female vocalists and then myself, and then it's a full band, and it's all we're doing Cherry Pie and Kickstart My Heart and Loving It and everything like that, Run to the Hills, and it's got full costumes. And when I first moved to Queensland, Melbourne was still completely in lockdown, and New South Wales was in lockdown. And so they contacted me about this, and I said, look, I said, if I'm not doing my own music, then the INXS show is kind of my main thing, but I don't know when that's going to come back. So yeah, I'll come on board and I'll do this. It looks like a lot of fun. And we had a run of like 12 shows that was booked. And then it ended up, one by one, they started, dropping off because there'd be a restriction change. And then people would want refunds because they'd be like, oh, they've just changed the restrictions. I don't know if I want to like put my money in to go see a big rock show. Anyway, we ended up doing 3 of the 12. And on one of the shows, just because of the restrictions that had come in, the manager of the theater came downstairs because we had there was a dressing room for the singers and the dressing room for the band, and they came into the singers one, and they said, oh, just to let you know, restrictions have changed. I need you guys to say over the mic that due to the government restrictions, no one's allowed to get out of their seats, and everyone must be masked inside. And when the manager left, I looked at the 2 girls. I said, you guys are going to have to say that. I said, if you give me the microphone and tell me to say that, I will probably say things that will get us all in trouble. we're out there doing, Kickstart My Heart, and I'm restraining myself and going, everybody on your feet. I'm already restraining myself. And then you want me to tell people that they have to like not sing along. They have to keep their mask. I'm like, I can't do that. I was like, I don't trust myself to say that and not throw in a cheeky little line about "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me" or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was so bizarre because they had afterwards they were selling posters, and because everyone was in different bands as well from the show, and so I was selling some of my merch, and the guitarist was selling some of his CDs and merch and stuff, and people were allowed to take their masks off for photos.
Yeah.
And it was so surreal, just the impact that all of that has on society, you know, because I see some people forgot that they were wearing a mask, and you could see their eyes are smiling, and they're smiling underneath the mask for a photo. And I was like, this is like, what's going on? Did I get into like an alternate universe here? Like what? It was just bizarre.
It kind of felt like it was an alternate universe. Yeah, it was so many weird things that just made you like go, what is going on, man? Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, things are, I'm in talks now. Like I kind of just, I knew that it would just be too depressing just to constantly put my hopes on stuff that was probably not going to happen. So I kind of just put on my gardener's hat and I went and lived in moved states and got into my gardening and woodworking and writing some poetry and stuff. And because I didn't want, when things opened back up, and this has happened to a lot of people, when things started opening up and they could do shows again, I've seen far too many people go, you know what? I just don't have the energy anymore. You know, they've already, they went out and gotten themselves a day job, or, you know, they split up from their partner, or whatever happened, you know, they tried doing a show and then got canceled. They tried doing a show and got canceled. They tried it. And it got to a point where they're like, they could actually do stuff. And they're like, I just don't have the energy. And I didn't want to do that. It's worked the other way as well. Sometimes people that were out of music have decided to get back into music as a way of coping, you know. But I'm hoping that the back end of this year, I can do a couple of shows here in Australia and just start feeling that feeling of doing my own music again, man. Because it has, well, even just playing live, it's you get that taste. I've had that drip feed over the last 2 years. I've probably done 10 or 12 shows over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Get back in the rehearsal room and you start getting a bit jived, and then you do the show and you're like, this is awesome. And then it's 3-4 months of nothing.
Oh, what a fucking bummer, dude.
It's the first time in my life, man, that I haven't been able to just put things on my back and just do it. You know, I remember like Sunset Riot, we played Sydney, you know, and people would say, oh, you know, you can't keep playing the same venues every week. We're like, no, we can't. But like, how do you book shows? Like, I don't know. So I just figured out how to do it. Then we started playing up and down the East Coast. And then we're like, well, you kind of do the East Coast circuit, then you got to wait 3-4 months to do it again.
Yeah.
And we kind of were like, well, we don't want to wait that long. So why don't we do it overseas? I don't know. Oh, there's no way you could do that. All right, just watch me, you know? So it's been a bit of a weird, like for me, it's the first time in my musical career that I haven't been able just to go, oh, you say I can't do that? All right, just watch me. But it's forced me into a position where I have been able to kind of take stock of things and hopefully come back with a fresh mind and some, I guess, the comeback will be bigger than the setback, as they say.
So Del, you have some other news. You have an upcoming new vinyl.
I do.
Yeah.
Bro, vinyl's made, and is it decently affordable?
Well, I don't know what you guys pay for vinyl in the US, but my vinyl.
Okay, I was told by my manager that there's a place that'll do print to order, which is nice, but he also said if you don't want to do that, it's like $3,000 for 150.
Well, so $3,000 US, right? So
Yeah.
if you want to message me afterwards, mine was for 150 was around 3,000 Australian.
Right.
Oh,
Is
score. Yeah.
so that would be around 2,100 US.
Right.
The killer at the moment is shipping, just like through COVID, man. Like they just jacked. It's gonna cost it like it's gonna cost me almost as much to send the vinyl as what I'm charging for the vinyl to the UK and Germany.
Wow.
Like I'm charging, like it's just ridiculous, and there's no way of getting that down because they've jacked up the price rates during the COVID period. So I'm gonna get around some fans are getting the vinyl just a bit cheaper just because I want it in their hands. Obviously, I can't afford to lose money, but I'm trying to eat some of that postage cost where I can.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna end up sending a box to my sister in the US, and then she's going to kind of send out my US orders.
That's a good idea.
It's a bit of double handling, but at the same time, the way they do postage for international is it's like up to a kilo is an X price, from 1 to 2 is another price, and then from 2 up to 20 kilos is X price, right? So if I just kind of load it up with 40 or 50 vinyl and send it to her, then she's got it's just the internal price, and the per vinyl price comes down. For t-shirts and stuff like that, it's no big deal. Interestingly, complete sidebar, but they now shipping from Australia to the US, anything bigger than a letter, they don't have an in-between now. It's just goes straight to package. I can't just send, and it's got to have the customs declaration, and they've got to do the testing on it and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's been the killer. If you want to message me after, Zane, I'd be more than happy to share that contact with you.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Because I want to get some vinyls for our new album. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people still ask about them, and they're just really expensive to make. Is why I haven't done it yet. But I definitely want to.
It's an investment, man. But it's also I mean, one of the things that I decided to do in this downtime was I've always gone the relentless touring. That's always been my angle, and really believing in building up those fans that way. And because I haven't been able to relentlessly tour, I've kind of gone, okay, well, how can I still stay active, and what are some that's the way that I've always known, I've always known it that way. So I've decided to kind of put, I guess, my energy into some higher ticket items. And then also when I do shows, I've also decided that I'm going to try and, it's a bit more risk, but try and put on a bigger show with more advertising. Obviously, if it goes belly up, then you got to wait a while before you do it again, but instead of just playing, 6 times in a week and 14 times in 15 days, just trying the other angle of going, okay, well, if I get on a bigger stage, and maybe it costs me money to buy on to a support or something like that, but that gets me in front of more fans on a bigger stage with better lighting and better sound. Will that help me to do more of what I love? I've never tried that angle before, so that's kind of going forward when I'm still going to play, still going to go through and play my favorites, but it's just things like the vinyl. I've always wanted to do it, and it's been one of those things where I'm like, I just can't afford it. And I can't really afford it now, but also I can't really afford to just
How much you selling your vinyl for?
$40 US, which is 28 $40 Australian, which is 28 US.
Bro, I'm gonna have to get one, dude, just because everybody right now, if I had one thing to say with people and just go to shows, man, like, because it's not just, hell, I was at a comedy show the other night, and even that dude up there, he was like, man, thank God for all y'all coming out supporting comedy and just any live entertainment. We need it right now.
There was a guy over here that posted a video just of frustration because especially amongst music, but any live entertainment, anytime there's a disaster, they're the first ones that get asked for to do a charity show and to play for free and all that sort of stuff. But because music is something that does bring people together. But he was venting his frustration at the fact he's like, these last 2 years, sports gets to keep going, but and businesses can go online, and what are we told to do? We're told to sell tickets to an online Zoom show.
Yeah.
It's not like where's the support for music? We're the first to stick our hands up and say, oh, there's been a flood, okay, we'll do a benefit concert, we'll play for free, or there's a fire, or there's a whatever there is. And it's true. Like, I mean, you just can't replace that live element. I did a couple of live shows via Zoom, virtual pub gigs, and it was just so weird, man.
I already know. Even the bands that I knew that did it a little bit more legit and had like a real good sound, like say how Blacktop Mojo did theirs.
Yeah.
Legit, it's like it was even still kind of just not the same. It's not a live show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the digital, I mean, the digital element, there's definitely a lot of pros to it, but on the one hand, you can go, oh, you're just getting old, and back in my day, but you cannot replace the physical energy of those people in that room at that one time, because that will never happen again. Never.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Like, you can get those same people in a room 10 years later and it will be different because all those people have had different experiences across those 10 years. So every live show is something that will never happen again, ever. And you're either there and part of it, or you're not. It's as simple as that. And it's like with, like NFTs and all that sort of stuff. And I get that that's something, that's going on, and there's pros and cons to it and everything like that. But that can never replace live art, because something that you have on your screen, yes, you can touch the screen, but nothing will replace having an original painting that artist put their NFTs. Yes, an artist puts time, and you can debate this one, time and effort into it, right? But having an artist physically holding the brush or whatever it is, the pen, the pencil, right, and painting that, you can't replace that. The music, like you can auto tune the fuck out of it, and you can synthesize, you can write a whole album using just notes, like on a keyboard, right? But that can never replace live performance, because those notes have to come from somewhere. They have to come from a finger touching something, or a voice singing or growling or shouting or whatever it is. And then you got the audience's energy that feeds into that as well.
There's been there's as a fan, there's been shows that in the middle of the show, I'm looking around, I'm like, I'm so glad I'm at this show, at this particular show. This is a moment, this is happening right now. The band, the fans, there's a vibe, and I'm feeling it. Everybody else is feeling it, and it's just electricity, man. And you're absolutely right. There's no replacing that, none whatsoever, man. It is the greatest thing, and I'm itching for it. I've been missing it in my life, man, for sure. So I can't even imagine how you guys feel.
Well, I keep reminding myself, man, that I've just gotta make sure that I'm at a point that when it's time, when it's time to open that door, get back on that stage and play those songs, that I'm in the best physical shape that I can be, the best mental shape and the best emotional shape, so that I can be on stage and be completely in the moment and be, fuck yeah, it's good to be back.
Well, shit. Well, man, this has been fun, you guys. This is
Yeah,
this
this
is a
is
nice
neat.
party.
This is different.
Yeah, I'm digging this. I've actually learned things tonight that I just didn't know anything about, and I'm privy to some information now. Fuck yeah. I know about vinyl and and what it's costing versus what you're selling. Yeah, man, I'm digging it, dude.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, they'll have fans out there going, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's no. I think it's it opens up a little bit of the behind the curtain, and I think fans appreciate
cool.
it. I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate what you guys do, Zane, you, Dell. I appreciate what you guys put so much fucking effort and dedicate. Just, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't have the words to say my appreciation for what you guys do, man, because I see how fucking hard you guys work. You guys are some hardworking motherfuckers.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Straight up. Yeah.
Agreed. Words. I just want to jump in.
Definitely. I mean, I kind of looked at COVID as like the time, like you were saying, Dell, to like go. I mean, I started roofing, man. Started saving money. Started like getting it together. You know what I mean? It's like if I can't go fucking play shows, like what else can we do? Like signs, like music videos. I did like shot 2 or 3 of those. Just like if I can't play shows, I got to do something. Like, but it all takes
I'm glad you guys
time.
could do all that over
and
there, man. That's good.
What's
I
that?
said I'm glad you guys could do all that over there.
Driving.
That's really good.
Right? No, man, it's definitely. I mean, trying to stay busy, man, during COVID was definitely weird, for sure. But yeah, I'm probably about to have to jump off because I'm about to get some Mexican food. But I'm starving. I haven't ate all day. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on here, man. We got to do this again. It was fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take us on the road of the East Coast, man.
Yeah, dude, go out there, do one, man. I don't care.
Heck yeah.
We should do one in New York.
That'd be awesome.
Right on. Well, y'all be good. Seeing all y'all.
All right. See you, Zane.
Hey, Charlie, if you're saying anything, nobody can hear you.
Yeah, this is all payback,
I
sir.
saw your lips moving, but I couldn't hear the words coming out your mouth.
That was so funny when it was happening to me now, wasn't it?
It was really funny when it was happening to you.
You
Oh,
have to
man.
change your name to Charlie. I've been muted, Owens.
Yes. Oh, is that,
that?
that's what the M stands for, mute.
The worst part
Charlie
is he
muted fucker Owens.
muted himself. That's the worst part.
Oh shit, man! And that sucks because I was telling him thanks, and I didn't tell him goodbye.
Yeah.
So, John, you had brought up Dell's poetry earlier, and we never really dove into that. What did you want to go with that?
Oh yeah, because that's when Zane jumped in. The show is great the way that just went, but it was so weird that's the way that it just went.
It's kind of
I
cool.
was just like, I don't know what to
Thank
do.
God you guys know each other. That would have been a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Well, that's the great thing about this show is we don't have any. I mean, we kind of give ourselves like a kind of like a set, like, oh, we're gonna do like this, but it's not. It's nothing is ever set in stone. It's like, okay, we have an idea, but we're just gonna wing it 90% of the time. So
Yeah. All I saw was iPhone is wanting to enter the chat, and I'm like, this could be a crapshoot. Let me let iPhone in.
who is it?
That's hilarious. My question really was, Del, you've been doing a lot of the poetry, and obviously we've all followed you for a very long time. Like it's a new route for you. Like I lost my words. I had notes, but I didn't note out for you as an artist, is it just like another outlet, or is it something that you're like diving deep into, that you're gonna do this as another thing?
Yeah, are you going to publish something?
That's a good
Yeah,
word. Thanks.
well, I self-published a book. I think it was 2020, or it might have been 2019. I can't remember now. And I just printed it on my own, and I hand stitched some of the binding, and then I got a company to actually print off a few. But I do have a second one, actually. A guy, a good friend, Frank Morana, that I met during the lockdowns. I commented on one of his pieces, his art pieces, and we ended up deciding to do a book together. So it's in answer to your question, John. It's something that I guess I've done for probably 20 years, mostly just on social media. Just, sometimes something will just hit me and I'll just write out a few lines. It's status, for MySpace or Facebook or whatever it happened to be. Yeah. That's how long, it's just kind of, something will hit and, just kind of write it out. But I thought, I've had enough people comment on my poetry that I thought I would like to bring that into the physical realm, because it hit me one day that if, social media just dies, then all of majority of my poetry be gone, because most of it I don't actually physically write down. It's just I happen to be in a certain place at a certain time and I start writing on my phone, and I'm like, oh, that's got legs, and I just keep writing. That's generally how most of it had been done up until about 2020, and then 2020, obviously a lot more time to sit down and everything. I started doing it a bit more regularly. And it's funny because, like, initially when I sat down and kind of start doing it more regularly, I was taking old lyrics that didn't ever become songs and going off a couple of those lines. Now it's reversed. Now sometimes when I'm writing a song and I'm looking for a line, sometimes I'll go back through my poetry and go, that one actually will work. Pardon me. And Lady Undertaker was originally a poem that I set to music.
Oh, nice.
And it's been tweaked so that it's a song lyrics now, but the original piece was a poem. I don't think it's ever something that'll fully take over, but it's just another outlet. We're chasing some publishing for this new book we've called Hopium. It's it'll be sort of, the poem with the original artwork is based off the poem. So
I'm looking forward to that, dude. I enjoy your poetry, dude. You're a wordsmith for sure.
Good.
I have one more important question for you.
Yes.
Where does everybody find your merch, and how do they order it? Like, where do they go?
Dellacoma.com. I have been quite slack recently. I do have a few designs that are not up on the website, but
do them in black.
Sorry?
All shirts be in black.
Yes. Almost be black. Dellacoma.com. I kind of got a bit overwhelmed with social media there for a little while, like when, Twitch coming in and TikTok and
TikTok.
Oh man, I kind of didn't know, like Zane actually touched on it. It can be, he's spot on. There's an entire audience out there that is entirely online.
Yeah.
And from someone who's been in the industry from before, like not before social media, but like before social media was as dominant as it is now, I kind of just had been viewing social media as something to basically let people know what I'm doing in real life. But it's always been one of those things for me where, this is what I'm doing on tour. This is new stuff. Here's a snippet from a gig. Here's a live stream, all that sort of stuff. And in a way you can interact with fans. But Zane was spot on with it. It has become an entire audience in of itself, and you have to. There's a lot of people that will never see you live, even
Yeah.
if you their town, but they like your music or they like your vibe or
Mhm.
whatever. And
Mhm.
and you have to, from an artist standpoint, you have to understand that they're just as much a fan as the people that don't have social media but still come to your shows or still listen to your music, you know. And that nice. Just noticed your mug. um, and on that topic, I'm actually going to release. So my next music video, I just got the final edit done yesterday, and we've got 4 different TikTok versions. So I'm going to release the full video, obviously on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And then there's 28 and 28, 38, 40, and I think 50-second versions.
Okay.
Obviously full song, but just
Yeah.
kind of go into that realm, the TikTok realm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, I'm on TikTok, dude. I'm addicted to it. I'm not like ashamed of it, but I'm not super happy about it either. I'm just kind of like I'm like really into, but I'm into the weirdest. I'm in like the stuff I post from TikTok isn't even close to the weird shit. Like I like it's so like bizarre, man. It's really bizarre.
Well, that's
the
what I
reason-
haven't figured out what my place in TikTok is, because everyone that talks about TikTok, they talk about like this weird shit, and I'm like, yeah, but how do I put my music in there, right? So my label and I got to tell you this idea, okay? You tell me, Charlie, TikTok aficionado Owens.
Okay.
Tell me what you think of this idea. So this is an idea that we had to try and just, we're spitballing ideas because they want me to tour. Of course, the last 2 years, obviously haven't been able to. So we're like, okay, we got to gain an online fan base. And so we were thinking about episodes on TikTok. We'll call it Dellacoma's Animal Farm. And it's literally just videos of me with a guitar playing to different animals. So you could be like chasing ducks, trying to,
Charlie's
you
like,
could
I'm
be-
in. There's
like
I'm
kangaroos, sheep, like cows, kookaburras, like whatever it is.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely into chickens.
Chicken.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, no, there is an audience for that. I promise you. I've seen some shit on TikTok that I'm like, what? Who's watching this? But there's millions of people watching it. And I'm like, wow, there is an audience for that. Now do that. I like it.
I was saying to because my label, like they own Rock Rage Radio, right?
Uh-huh.
And and I was saying to him, like, because I've got music on plenty of radio stations around the world, but he's been like, they've got an artist apparently that paid for a tour off of the streaming royalties that they got from TikTok, because they had some TikTok video that went viral, and he said in confidence, he said, look, it's not even the best band that we have on our roster, but they just had a video that just went viral, and the money that they made off of those millions and millions and millions of views was enough to put them on tour.
Damn.
And so I'm trying to rethink it in a way that I'm not going to look back and be cringe. I don't want to do the Howie Mandel, but at the same time try and find fun ways, almost like the old school like in Sunset Right, we used to do the tour videos, the tour diaries.
Yeah.
I'm trying to view it as like a new school version of that in a way.
Okay. That makes perfect sense, man. Absolutely. Yeah, you're on TikTok. Let's do TikTok, man. Hey, the reason I brought this mug out, I've been kind of through the ringer in the last year and a half, 2 years, divorced myself. I didn't get a lot of things A lot of things. I guess I just don't have stuff anymore. But this and all my coffee cups. Out of all my coffee cups, 2 of them survived, and this was one of them, dude. It's not showing up that great, but it's the Dellacoma.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about the divorce, but I'm glad the coffee cup survived.
Yeah, no, the coffee cup made it.
Because
Dude.
divorce is a lot harder without coffee.
100%. You know, the best part of waking up is Dellacoma on my cup. So
Now that's an ad. That's an ad. When I release the next round of coffee cups, I'll get a video of people around the world going, the best part of waking up is Dellacoma on my cup. That is
Hilarious.
Now I just need to bring out some coffee beans, and then I can be in the cup and on the cup.
absolutely, man.
So Kara made a comment that, and I'm going to guess it was in reference to where I was asking about your merch. And she said, my house. She's like, your house, John. And I was like, hey, that's funny because you remember that one time that I rearranged my entire dining room wall? And I covered it with merch from all of your stuff. I put shirts. I have a very, very large dining room. And I put shirts in descending order of when I got them to from first to last, if you will, with Outback Rednecks, Sunset Riot. I had everything up on that wall. And I was like, I'm probably missing some things, but the entire wall was pretty covered.
Yeah, you definitely have the number one collection. Kara is catching up. She's definitely got the largest in Australia.
I'm gonna have to put that on lockdown. I gotta get some more shit. I'll tell my wife later.
I just opened a box last night, and I was like, I wonder what the fuck is in here, because I haven't gone through all my boxes yet, because there's not that much. It's kind of depressing, but open it up, and it's old Sunset Riot, those white tank tops.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
There was like 5 of them in there. I was like, holy shit, where'd these come from?
wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's been interesting going through some of my stuff. I'm like, it's just all band shit, man. I'm happy about that. I did get all my band shit that I wanted. So
That's yeah. I've moved now. This is and I'm in between places at the moment, but I've moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've moved eight times in the last 3 years, including interstate. So it's been and I've had 2 minor floods in there as well. So there's been a lot of just kind of quickly like throwing stuff here, there, and everywhere. But I have had a couple of moments where I've opened up something and I've been like, I wonder what's in this. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like this must have been packed like years and years ago and I've just never touched it.
yeah. Man. Well, it's good to see you smiling again, brother. It's good to see you. You know, it's just good to talk to you too, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah. Kind of like old times.
Man, it would be, I reckon the first time you had me on would have been over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably.
I'm thinking 2011.
I was going to say 2011 sounds about right.
You know, I really wish we would have had you on last week because we were under a tornado warning here. I was like, what? You know,
that would.
Sorry about that.
No. Well, and the funny thing is the guy that we were talking to, Roy, he was genuinely concerned for Randy's safety, and Randy and John and I were just like, we're like, whatever, you know, nobody, like we're all so used to that shit that we were just like, no, we're still doing this podcast, and you know, and he was like, how close is it to him? Randy's like, oh, like 20 minutes away. So it's still a ways away.
It's cool. It's tracking a little bit, you know, off to the right. Well, it'll be fine.
Yeah, and he's like, no, that's really close. You should probably take over. Nah, we're gonna do the podcast, dude. We're good.
I there's definitely had some close calls with tornadoes. I think I was on tour one time and we were driving through the outskirts of a tornado,
Yeah.
like a rainstorm, going through Nebraska, and the rainstorm, it was raining and it was on the, I just remember it being like, so like the windscreen wipers were on full and you still could not see anything. And we were like, there was one of those things where it's like, you can't just, when you pull over, like, what do you do? So we ended up finding like some truck stop or something and pulling over for a while. But yeah, that part of the country, there's a reason they call it Tornado Alley.
Yeah, man.
If I recall, you had another one of those when you were leaving that Tick Fest in Missouri.
Tick Fest.
Yes. Yes. In fact, I think that's the one that I was thinking of, I think.
Because I think you guys were headed to my house from there, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Big ass rock fest.
Big ass rock fest.
Still got the t-shirt somewhere, I'm sure.
I do too.
Which one was this? I don't remember this one.
It was in the middle of nowhere in Missouri. It was like in a field. Like they set up a stage and it was in a field. And seriously, it was a Tick Fest out there. But
Oh, wow. You went to that, John?
yeah, I was not camping. I was in a hotel. Like, I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
we didn't even end up playing because they canceled the festival before we got on stage. But I still remember that was the first time I met the Nasty Habit Boys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I remember pulling up in the van and we piled out. This was the Sunset Riot. It would have been 2013, I feel like. And
Maybe 2012.
Maybe. And remember rolling out, and Tommy and Kenny were probably like 12 at the time. And I just remember like rolling out. We've been on the road for a good fair while at that point. and Tommy just rolls up with no shirt on and a beer, a Budweiser in his hand, and he's like, "You're Sunset Riot, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Nasty Habit." And I was like, "Yeah, you are." And he just wandered back off again.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Oh, dude. There's so many good memories, so many good times, dude. We could do this all night. We really could.
Yeah.
But we're not going to.
Nope. I probably do. I probably do need to. It's 11:30 a.m. here. I've got to pick my kids up from school in a couple of hours, so I've got to actually get rolling with a bit of my day. But thank you so much for having me on, guys. It's really, really good to see you guys.
We missed you. We missed you so much, dude. We
Talk about you almost every show.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah.
It is.
Who else do we talk about every show, guys?
Well, you can get me once, but you can't get me twice, John.
Hey, Dell, who's my favorite band?
Kiss.
I can still do it.
He doesn't even have to say the name. He just has to ask.
So, yeah, there's been a running theme. I was gonna say joke. That's not very funny. No, it's pretty funny. Every week, somehow, that band gets brought up or shown. Some sort of memorabilia or the name. So it's just and sometimes it's been it's just happened. Like it should.
Yeah.
Organically, yeah. Other times it's kind of forced in there a little bit, but yeah.
Like what you just saw.
Yeah. Dell, man, it's been so good to talk to you, bro. Please, when you start, man, anytime. I mean, dude, like we don't even have to offer you. You just tell us when you want to come talk to us again, man.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, I will. Once I got some news to share or some time to just hop on and have a bit of a chat and talk about lounge room jams during tornado power outages, or talk about the times that we actually remember in the Twisted Diamond.
Hmm.
We're
There's a
just
couple-
not,
at least a couple of
we're
those.
just not going to talk about that trip home from the Waffle House that one night in Albuquerque. We're just not going to talk about that.
Oh,
Oh,
Charlie, you're not the first person that's done that on a trip home from Waffle House. There's a man out in Jacksonville, Florida, that can also talk about a very similar experience.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And it was Jaeger's fault again.
Well,
I
Wow.
don't think it's ever necessarily Jaeger's fault. I think
It's Jaeger's
sometimes
fault.
it's the person consuming that doesn't understand.
yes.
power-
See,
the
here's
power of
thing,
Jaeger.
you can't blame the person that throws the party, but those
right.
who attend the party are at least, at least 50% responsible for their own actions at the party.
Yeah, I know. But
That's right.
I don't want to take the blame. So I just blame it on Jaeger, dude. It's Jaeger.
Yeah.
too-
Well,
too
one
powerful.
day in the time since I've talked to you guys, I've had some interesting tour stories from the In Excess show that yeah, interesting indeed.
Okay.
We'll leave those for another time.
Another
Right.
time. Another time. Del, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us, dude. It's so good to talk to you, bro. It's so good to see you happy and smiling, bro.
You too. You too. Hang tough, guys. Love
see you
you.
later, man.
Love you too, bro.
Love you.
Take care, Del.
Take care, man.
See you guys.
Oh man, so good to talk to Del, dude.
So cool.
So good. That was a first. We haven't ever done that before. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It
that was
worked,
cool
though.
though. At first I was like, what are we gonna do? And then I was like, we're just gonna talk to everybody. We're just all
Like I said, that may have been a little bit awkward if they didn't actually know each other.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey,
Hey.
this is like my spot, dude. This is my time slot.
But you missed yours, so what are you doing in mine?
Yeah.
Everything played out well, and I think we made sure we had time with both, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
Definitely
We-
more
got all
time
the
with
info.
Del than anyone ever. But it's because we all have such that connection to him, with him. It's just easy to sit and chat. Like, it's
Yeah.
been too long. Like
Yeah.
he said, it's like 4 years, 4 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably chat a little bit after the show, but we could probably end the show. And
I think so. Big thanks to Zane and Del for hanging out with us and mixing it up and we just had a big old party going on. The only thing that was missing was the Jaeger, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, big thanks to those guys. And if you want to take us out, Ashton, man, we're ready. See you next week.
We bang your ugly friends too.